Everything in this robot you've already bought. 2 rows of pins get soldered, then the iron goes away. And the rest of it is jumper wires and a bag of tricks. Are all of these tricks recommended? Probably not. Are they good practice? Definitely not. Are they easy? You bet Caster's left eye they're easy. Let's get into it. Two motors, 2 pins each. 1 for speed and 1 for direction. Total of 4. 2 eyes, 1 pin each. 1 voice, 2 pins. And I'll show you why it's 2 and not 1. So we're up to 8. 8 jobs. 3 pins left. Because there is one ground pin on the whole board. So the eyes need somewhere to go home to, and there's nowhere left to put them. And that leaves 1 free pin in the entire robot, which is why this is a robot with 2 motors, 2 eyes, and a voice, and not one with 3 of anything. I didn't choose that, I counted it. The rest of the parts are printed. A chassis, a lid, a smile, a caster fork, which is where this little guy gets his name, 3 wheels, all out of PLA, and 3 tires out of TPU. The first tool is the soldering iron. Let's get that out of the way. For the ESP32, we need to solder these 2 rows of pins. As I understand it, they come like this, and it only takes a minute to do this kind of solder with the good iron. The one I use is in the description, but any soldering iron will get the job done. I've seen them as low as $6 if you know where to go. You can see we're putting it on a breadboard. That's just to hold the pins while we solder. All right, I'm liking the look of that. So now we can use our little helping hands here to hold it while we do the rest. I'm pretty sure that left pin is a cold joint, so we're gonna heat it up again. As soldering goes, this is about as easy as it gets. All right. Here, we'll break these in half. One of them doesn't have enough solder. There. I don't know if you can see that, but if you get it right, it almost like sucks. It sucks in. Our N20s. Now, some N20s will come with wire leads already soldered on, but I've found them to be unreliable. So even if they come, I'd pull them off and make your own solder joints here. All right, I'm gonna pre-tin everything. I think that's the technical term. As far as I understand it, pre-tinning is where you take a little bit of solder on your iron and then you put it on the wire. Here comes the tricky part. How do we want to do this? All right, I'll be honest, that's not my best work, but I think it's good enough. Let's see here. Yeah, that's far and away better than what you're gonna get by default. And we're actually done with the iron. Let's turn it off. Now you're probably thinking, but wait, how can that be all? Where's the breadboard? Where's the protoboard? Or the circuit board? Exactly. Bag of tricks. The first one is to use these little jumpers to plug the ESP into the DRV. The next trick is to realize that one single cell can power our ESP. Even though it calls for 5 volts, it runs just fine on a 3-volt single cell battery. Technically 4 to 3, somewhere around there. This is the piezo, and this is why it takes 2 pins instead of 1. Normally, 1 leg on a pin, 1 leg on a ground. Now the second leg isn't ground either. It's another pin carrying the same signal upside down. Same chip, same disk, same volume setting, twice the swing across it, which is about 6 decibels, and it costs me 1 spare pin. Onto the crimper. First, we're going to do voltage and ground. For that, we need one 1.25 millimeter JST 2-pin microelectrical female connector plug, just because that's what our single-celled battery will plug into. And one 470 microfarad capacitor for good luck. Now we're being creative with this crimp job to minimize the amount of soldering we need to do. Now, we are actually using, I think these are called DuPont. Yeah, DuPont female connectors. This is pretty standard stuff, but yeah. This doesn't have to hold together for long because the crimp is going to hold it together. That is not great. I'm going to have to redo that. All right, piezo's done. These should be easier. You actually can hear them click too. These crimpers cost about $20, but they do a perfect job first time every time. The alternative would be, if you're, again, on a budget, if you have some needle nose, you could get the job done with needle nose. Yeah. You can get the job done, but get yourself some crimpers. Now, for the hot glue gun that I always forget to turn on. So this will just be an opportunity to clean up. We can also, while we're waiting for the hot glue gun to heat up, we can bring this soldering iron back because, sure enough, we forgot to do 2 solders. Now what we forgot is this little board that helps us charge our battery. We forgot to connect the extra female connector that we got here. We glue 4 magnets, all with the same orientation onto the chassis. All right. Now, when we go to glue the magnets into the chassis, we flip the orientation. Finally, we glue in the LEDs and the piezo. Looks good. And then the LEDs, I have to remind myself, red is on the left. And we're done with the glue. Oh, looky here. We didn't do DuPont. Well, while doing all that, we lost a ground. All right, now let me pull up the schematic to make sure I get this right. The wiring harness only has 2 grounds, and we have 5 things to ground. If you need links to any of these parts, to the schematic, to the printed parts, it's all available for free when you join the minirobo community on the minirobo.io website. Let's turn this guy on. First, we're gonna flash it. Oh, it beeps, that's a good sign. Spinning freely. And then the caster mount onto Mr. Caster here. If it beeps and flashes, it's a pretty good sign. Okay, so it's most likely working, but how do you drive it around? How do you trigger those emotions we built in? For this robot, you can use anything with the web browser. I'm using this tablet. You just connect to the Wi-Fi network it's broadcasting, open a browser, and you're in the driver's seat. 4 buttons, 4 moods. A is excited. B sulks, turns its back and only half forgives you. D leans in and purrs. And C, you already met. So, how does that feel? I really hope this video inspires you to just build. Just build this robot. If you don't have a 3D printer, get one. Build this. Just build this. Now, if you stayed this long, you're probably curious how much all of this costs. I'll show you a breakdown of the parts here and a breakdown of the tools you need here. Is this the recommended way to build a robot? Probably not. Look at this thing though. It works and it'll still work next week. But pull one wire and I'm not fixing this in 5 minutes. In the next few episodes, we'll get into how to do it all the right way. But today, we're going to take a moment and celebrate. We built a robot. I hope you go to minirobo.io and become a member. We're about to do some interesting things over there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Let's build something.